My name is Mary. I'm a 29-year-old homemaker. I've been married to Sean for 5 years now. We don't have any kids yet. The way I met Sean was through my dad's introduction. That's because Sean was introduced to my dad. Sean, who works at a company, was originally employed at a firm that was a client of my dad's, and my dad, impressed by Sean's sales skills, poached him to his own company. From there, Sean became a direct subordinate, and through many a happy hour, we gradually got to know each other outside of work, leading to my dad suggesting, "You really should meet my daughter." I was immediately charmed by him at our first meeting. After having a peaceful relationship, we got married 5 years ago. But recently, things between us have been getting a bit rocky. I wonder if this is inevitable for a couple that's been together this long. While thinking such thoughts, the idea of splitting up never crossed my mind, and I just went about my daily life. Then one day, after Sean came home from work, I mustered up the courage to confront the issue. "Hey. We haven't been talking much lately, have we? We don't go out together as a couple as much as we used to. Let's take some time off and go on a trip. Let's go on a trip to a place that holds memories for us. Go to a nice place to eat or something." "Sorry, I just don't have the bandwidth for that." "Really? But come on, maybe this is just how it is with couples who've been together for 5 years, isn't it?" "I'm beat. I'm going to bed." And with that dismissive comment, another day came to an end. Is this really how it's supposed to be? After being together for 5 years? I had thought so, but as time went by, Sean began to look elsewhere due to work stress and personal frustrations, and our relationship grew colder. I was aware of the issue but struggled to find a solution. However, out of the blue, Sean made a surprising suggestion. "Hey. How about we move to a new place?" "What?" I was honestly shocked, but also hopeful that a new environment might improve our relationship. Yeah. I've always wanted to be closer to work. Well, this apartment is too small to have a baby, and the supermarket and school are too far away. Oh, you really thought that much for us? Of course. That's why I've been working so hard. Thank you, then, I get it. Let's start looking for a place right away. Right. Sean's words touched my heart, and knowing he had even considered our future children filled me with joy, lifting my spirits. The next day, we began to live a life filled with newfound freshness. A year passed, and we finally got our dream home, a brand new house. As we started preparing to move, Sean and I found our conversations becoming more lively, almost like when we first started dating. We discussed furniture and appliances for our new home, sharing our interests and thoughts. Sean was passionate about choosing a sofa for the living room, emphasizing both comfort and style. Meanwhile, I was interested in the kitchen, wanting to create a space that was easy to cook in and maintained a sense of cleanliness. Through these exchanges, I felt we deepened our understanding of each other's lifestyles and values, and choosing furniture and appliances became more than just purchasing items. It symbolized a return to the happy times we shared when we first met. But that happiness was short-lived. It was just another day, getting used to our new life after moving. Then one calm evening, Sean and I were relaxing in the living room. "Listen. I've decided to live here with my mistress and our love child." "What?" His sudden announcement left me in shock. "Are you listening? Just give me a week, and then you need to leave. Because I'm gonna live here with my mistress and our child." "Love child? What?" Sean's cruel words froze my heart, leaving me speechless. "Wait, just a minute? What do you mean? I don't understand, explain this to me." Sean met his mistress at his workplace. She was working there part-time. Their relationship had gone beyond mere work colleagues to something more, for the past 2 years. "Hey, I have something to tell you." "What's up?" "I've been thinking, maybe we need a bigger place." "A bigger place? What do you mean?" "Yeah, because, you see, I'm pregnant with your child." So, I thought our current house felt a bit cramped, and I wanted our child to grow up in a more spacious place. Really? Yeah, for real. That's why I want us to move to a bigger house and live a happy life together. I see. Can you give me a moment to think about it? Eventually, they nurtured their love and even had a child. Sean revealed this conversation from 2 years ago to me. Wait, so what happens to us? We're getting a divorce, a divorce. Come on, we're going to the city hall. What? What are you talking about? Wasn't the plan that we'd live here together? We even picked out furniture together. That's ridiculous. I moved here to live with my mistress and our love child. So, please, could you move out as soon as possible? What? You can't be serious. It was never about you. I've realized that. Understand, will you? What's the reason? How did it come to this? Being with you for the rest of my life would be boring. You add nothing to my life and have no value I can be proud of. Being with my mistress seems more fun, and I can't be with you anymore. You're just in the way. You thought that. But, can't you think it over? I've thought it over, and the decision is to prioritize my mistress. She's more reliable, good at her job, and importantly, young and beautiful. Unlike you, she's someone I can show off to others. So, please, understand. I'm not up for a lengthy discussion. This is it. There's nothing more to talk about with you. And lately, with the baby starting to crawl, I'm glad we moved to a bigger house. The new house is perfect for the child to play, and I'm looking forward to our new life with my mistress. So, that's why. You specifically chose a house that would meet the needs of the child. Since we had the child, our family happiness has increased significantly, and I feel more motivated to work harder. You were thinking that. Really, the worst. After weighing whether to spend my life with you or with my mistress and our love child, I've decided it's happier to live in this new house with them. Do you get what I mean? I struggled to comprehend his calm explanation. I desperately tried to organize my thoughts. We were supposed to live happily here together, but he had a mistress and even a child on the side. And now I have to leave within a week. Hey. Are you listening? Can you leave this place? I've already told my mistress she can move in, so it's gonna be a problem if you're not out within a week. I know it's gonna be tough, but please do your best. It's partly your fault for not satisfying me as a woman, you know? Understand that. But man, I was surprised you never caught on about me and my mistress. You should really try harder with the next guy you're with. You were just so boring. Well, I was busy with housework and stuff. That's just an excuse. You being boring put stress on me, affecting my work. A woman needs to satisfy her man or it impacts his job. Success at work depends on happiness at home. Remember that. That's so unfair. I know I'm supposed to make you happy as your wife, but blaming everything on me just because you're bored is not fair. Your boredom is your own issue. No matter how much I try, if you can't find joy in yourself, there's nothing I can do. I'm trying my hardest too, it's so unfair to be told this. Whoa. What? Getting mad at me? Give me a break. This right here is exactly the problem. I'm the one who's been earning the money. The house, the car, everything was bought with my earnings. You've been able to live your life thanks to me. I want you to at least be grateful for that. Are you serious saying that? Their argument escalated. It moved further away from the original point. Fine. I get it. I understand. All right, I'll leave. Good, you're a reasonable woman. That helps. Overwhelmed by despair and betrayal, I managed to leave the scene of this nightmare, feeling like my heart was being crushed. Unable to talk to anyone about it, I spent 2 days and nights thinking it over in a manga cafe. And I determined to get my revenge. Then, suddenly, an idea came to mind. 3 days later. Hey, you're actually leaving? Yes. Lucky me. That's a relief. I'll tell my mistress she can move in tomorrow then. The doorbell rang. Huh? Who is that? The doorbell's ringing. Could you get that, please? What? Get it yourself. Please. Damn. Well, since you're leaving today anyway. Oh well. As he went outside, there stood a luxury foreign car, out of place in the city streets, with an elderly man beside it. Sean, surprised, addressed the old man informally. Yeah? What do you want? The old man, surprised yet dignified, approached Sean. Are you Mary's husband, Sean? Yeah, well, that's me, but who are you? Here. Take this. What is this? A divorce paper and a resignation letter. Sign it right now. Sean, both shocked and confused, stammered, Huh? Wait, who are you? What's this all about? A resignation letter, what do you mean? Don't you understand why you need to write a resignation letter? The old man's voice was stern, fixing Sean with a steely gaze. What? Old man, what's your deal? Got the wrong house? Or is your age getting to your head? I quickly ran up to them. Ah. Grandpa. Thank you for coming today. What? Grandpa? Hey, Mary. What's this all about? Oh, let me introduce him. This is my grandfather, Ken Black. And why do I need to hand a resignation letter to Mary's grandfather? Oh. Didn't I tell you that? Wait. Ken Black as in? Yes. Getting it now? The chairman of your company. Indeed. That person was my grandfather, the chairman of the company where my husband worked. Wait, please, you're saying my company's chairman is Mary's grandpa, really? That's what I'm saying. But I guess you wouldn't know since we have different last names. But I was introduced to this company by Mary's dad. Your grandpa has nothing to do with it. Mary's dad's company is a client of my company. At my husband's company, my grandfather served as the chairman, and my father, the president of a client company, had introduced my husband to the job. Because my maiden name was different from my grandfather's, my husband had been unaware of my grandfather's existence. Only my father, who had introduced him to the company, and I knew about this. Do you understand what you've done to my dearest granddaughter? No, it's not like that. Not like that? I've heard everything from Mary. Funny. Grandpa. I mean, Mr. Chairman. My husband held the pen over the two documents he had been forcibly handed by my grandfather, his hand trembling. Once you've finished writing, we're going to part ways. Wait, Mary, there's more I need to say. What? I thought you wanted me to leave quickly, didn't you? I stood beside my husband as he wrote his resignation letter, never meeting his eyes and maintaining a cold demeanor towards him. My husband paused his writing and let out a deep sigh. His heart was filled with conflict, but he was also acutely aware of the depth of his wrongdoings. I had to struggle not to burst out laughing. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Mary, I'm truly, truly sorry. Please, think it over. I take back what I said before. I don't love my mistress. It's you I love. You feel the same, right? You still love me, don't you? Right? Don't you? Gross. There's no way I could ever love you. It's over. The fact that you even had an affair and then a child on top of that? Unforgivable. There's no way I could ever love someone like that, not in a million years. So, what if I call my mistress right now and break it off with her? Would you stay with me then? No, you don't have to break up with her. I don't plan on being with you anyway. I can't understand how you thought you could do something this terrible and still be loved. How did you even get to that point in your thinking? After a moment of silence, my husband's demeanor suddenly changed. What? If I take the initiative, you'll be the one to take the fall. Don't play with me, woman. Who would like a pompous woman like you? I thought she was cute at first, but as we lived together, she nagged. Her cooking was mediocre, her stories were boring, and you should be thankful that you've lived with someone like me for 5 years. You should get out of this house right now. My mistress is many times better than you. Just a moment ago, he was begging not to break up, and now he's throwing a tantrum because I won't agree to it. He probably thought I'd be scared and back down. But I have my grandfather to protect me, and I'm confident I could take down this guy if I had to. I've trained in martial arts. My grandfather always said, don't let anyone underestimate you because you're a woman. Be strong. He taught me to always be able to protect myself. You're seriously messed up. Your emotions flip too quickly, don't they? It's amazing you even managed to find a mistress. Oh right, you're good at lying. I got fooled by that too. Oh, and I've done some digging. You've been pretending to be single to your mistress, huh? How do you know that? Idiot. Like I said earlier, my grandpa is the chairman of your company. I asked Grandpa to look into Mia. Your mistress. Well done, my granddaughter. You don't back down. Look here, you. When we looked into it, all sorts of things came up. Despite being with Mary, you were getting cozy with Miss Sato? At our company. And there were issues with married women. I was so embarrassed when I found out an employee of my company was doing this. I wondered why I hadn't fired him sooner. It's actually funny. To think I was married to such a husband. I'm ashamed. You're just done as a person. Hearing this, my husband was filled with despair, but my anger was far from subsided. Well, what happens next depends on the mistress's move. Actually, she's going to be here soon. I already called her using your phone when you were in the bathroom. Just then, the doorbell rang again. I excitedly opened the front door. There stood my husband's mistress and their love child. Both stunned to see me. Oh, wrong place. I'm sorry. I stopped the mistress from leaving. Not wrong, not wrong. Nice to meet you. Hello. Is this Sean's house, right? We've been waiting. Come in, come in. Grandpa, can you take care of this kid in the other room? Do you mind if I speak too? Oh really? Okay then. We were married. Mia, the mistress, did you know that? Oh, well, yes. Now that it's out, can't you just speak plainly? I knew. I'm sorry. But, I mean, it's not like it's my fault. Can you stop that annoying way of speaking? Just listening to it is irritating. I'm sorry. You two were in an affair, right? I don't know who seduced whom, but you were both in that relationship. I think you both share the blame. Sorry, who are you? The mistress looked puzzled at my grandfather. Oh, I didn't mention it. Or, you didn't know either. He's the chairman of the company you work for, my grandpa. What? What does that mean? Sean, did you know? How would I know? I just found out too. It's a bit embarrassing not to be recognized, but it gives me a certain shyness. And you two being in an affair before the divorce was something I knew about. We've got evidence. Grandpa, could you show them? Got it. With that, my grandfather pulled out photos from an envelope. Wow, what's this? Pictures of you entering and leaving a hotel, huh? It's clear from these that you're more than just colleagues. It's going to be a problem for a married person to have these exposed, huh? I said to them loudly and sarcastically. What's this? Voyeurism. That's a crime. What a moron. Stop it. There's a child next door. Shut up, Sean. Just be quiet. Hey, you're married and you make a child with another woman. Are you okay with such a despicable man? Let me teach you something, young lady. It's not just because you're attractive, of course, that's part of it, but such women only compete with their looks, their appearance. They're empty inside. Their only asset is their youth, which is quite pitiful. I've seen a few women like that. After all, young women are a dime a dozen in this world. Losing their only asset and ending up with nothing is truly pitiful. I'm sorry, Mia. It must be a hassle, but don't worry. We'll quickly cut ties with these people. And then you can live here with us. Yes. Sorry to interrupt your little moment, but you think you can live here? Sean, what do you mean? Which is it? What are you talking about? Don't you know? You had me sign the contract 5 years ago. Back then, you had no savings, right? It was strange, but now I get it, you were spending all your money on Mia. This place has a good location, it's new, and it has a beautiful view. I signed the contract for this house, so I'm not planning to give it up. Sean? If we can't live here, where will we go? My place is a 1-room and 2 small. I've already told the landlord we're not renewing. What about Sean Jr.? Oh dear, looks like both of you are going to be homeless. That's terrible. I'm not that kind, so please leave within a week. That's a bit of a problem for us. Oh really? Saying that to others? Maybe now you're starting to understand a little bit of how I felt back then. Hey! What about us? What's going to happen? Of course, we'll continue. Continue or not, it doesn't matter, but Mia, are you really okay with this guy? A big liar who's about to lose both his job and place to live. What do you mean lose his job? Hey, don't say any more. Why not? It doesn't matter to me, so I'll say it. It's going to come out eventually anyway. As I said before, the chairman of his company is my grandpa, and my dad introduced him to his current job. So, he's been able to work there thanks to my grandpa and dad. Since he's treated me this way and we're breaking up, I have no obligation to him anymore. I'm thinking of getting him fired. That's why he'll be jobless. And, of course, since you work in the same place, it's possible for you to be fired too. Get it? Both of you will be jobless. Don't drag her into this. She's also at fault. Normally, if you hear someone's in a relationship, you back off. How dreamy can you get? It's ultimately your fault. You need to take responsibility. Please, it's tough to be fired from the company now. There's Sean Jr. and the house and our savings. Please, just wait. Give me another 3 months. It's impossible all of a sudden. At least until we can secure a place to live. It's too late. I can't just leave my granddaughter like this. Go and rely on your own parents. Tell them you've had a child out of wedlock. Hurry up, your baby's crying too. I can't stand to watch. Sean picked up the pen again and began to write on the resignation letter in the solemn atmosphere. You too, right. We don't need employees who degrade the company's morals like this. Sean's hand trembled, and it took him a while to finish writing. Mia also wrote her resignation letter, crying softly. I was tired of being angry and sighed deeply. After finishing, Sean and Mia handed the resignation letters to my grandpa. My grandfather took the resignation letter without saying a word and checked its contents. Under his stern gaze, my husband took responsibility for his actions, accepting the consequences without running away. I watched my grandfather and husband, focusing intently on his figure. And don't forget the divorce papers I asked for. I got it. And, you know about the alimony, right? Oh, it hurts to think I was cheated on and there was even a secret child. What? $60,000? You're really terrible. Well, better than you. I demanded alimony from my husband, and he signed it tearfully. After everything was written, they quickly left the room, carrying little baby John. As they left through the front door, heads down, I couldn't help but laugh again. Grandpa, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming all this way, even though you're busy. It's nothing. Leave it to me. This is exactly when you need a grandpa. But your son brought home quite the trouble. I guess I have to punish him too. Yeah. Dad needs to be punished too. I'll tell Mom. Next time, I'll find a husband candidate for marry myself. That sounds good. I trust you to find someone reliable. And so, the matter was resolved. My ex-husband had once hoped for a new life with his mistress. However, the alimony payments strained his finances, and his relationship with his mistress deteriorated. He turned to his parents, but as expected, they couldn't offer him the support he needed, and he was left to wander. His relationship with his secret son, John, also troubled him. He faced the difficulty of taking responsibility and building a relationship with his child, feeling the weight of his role as a father alongside his affair. My ex-husband was tormented by regret for his actions. His affair destroyed our marriage and betrayed me, deeply regretting his foolishness. On the other hand, thanks to my grandfather, I started on a new path. The alimony became a step toward a new life, and I succeeded in pursuing my happiness. Despite the pain caused by my husband's unfaithful actions, it became a valuable experience that made me stronger and more grown. I cherished the support from those around me and new encounters. With the support of friends and family, I built a new community to pursue my happiness. Over time, I have recovered from the wounds of the past and have become a stronger, more mature person.